Happy Monday, y'all. This is Charlene from Lady in Waiting 222, and today is our Monday mini devotional. Our scripture for today is Isaiah chapter 45, verse 9. I want to read the Amplified Classic version to you. And it says, "Woe to him who strives with his maker, a worthless piece of broken pottery among other pieces, equally worthless, and yet presuming to strive with his maker. Shall the clay say to him who fashions it, 'What do you think you are making?' Or, 'Your work has no handles?'" Now, striving, not abiding, right? That striving is something I know all too well. I remember when the Lord spoke to me several years ago in the midst of a wilderness season, and He told me to stop striving with me, Charlene. And I have reason to believe that perhaps you may not even know that you're doing as I didn't. Because when I hear the word striving, I think of striving for excellence, striving for greatness, and the list goes on and on. So I thought striving was a good thing, right? The dictionary.com definition says to make great efforts to achieve or attain something. But don't get too excited, y'all, because the Lord checked me again a few months ago when He said, "You're striving and not abiding." And my word for 2021 is abiding, right? So when I looked up another definition, I think this was the one that He was talking to me about more, right? Another definition says to struggle or fight vigorously, to exert oneself, try hard, to contend in opposition, battle, or any conflict. Compete, to struggle vigorously, as in opposition or resistance. And I don't know about you, but when I read that definition, it made me really tired just thinking about it, and the force and the effort that you exert when you are striving against something or someone, the Lord. So when He spoke that to me, "You are striving, not abiding," it was an ouch, right? He was right. As a result, I could feel the results of this undue pressure rising. In addition to the frustration and anxiety I was causing myself unnecessarily, instead of just slipping back into the pace that God has set for me concerning major transitions in my life. While I was steadily trying to rush ahead of Him and working my brain unnecessarily to figure things out without Him, He whispered it to me again. "You are striving, not abiding, Charlene." I'll be the first to admit I'm a planner, right? And planning the course of my life, or at least attempting to, that's me, holding on to my life and my plans when God has called me to lay it down. Well, foolishly, I thought somehow I could change God's mind or get Him to agree with me, right? But see things from my perspective and do things my way. Nope, that did not happen. And I remember one of the ministers of my old church said to me one time, "It's better to go the way of the Lord first, instead of trying to do things in your own way or on your own. It will save you a lot of heartache, pain, and suffering, because you will eventually have to go His way anyway." Right? So, the first definition of strive, right? Once I read it, I thought to myself, well, what's wrong with making great efforts to achieve or attain something? Nothing's wrong with that. As long as your reasons or motives for making those great efforts don't keep you from abiding in God. When you think about abiding, it's like a resting in Him, remaining in Him, right? Trusting and knowing that God, He already knows and He's got it all figured out, right? So why would we strive with our Maker? Why are we fighting vigorously against our Maker, against His plans, His will? Why? It's just going to tire you out if you're not tired already. The Greek word for abiding is meno, right? Which means to dwell, remain, live, stay, continue, endure, be present, stand, tarry, a word we forget about, be kept. And the Oxford Languages defines this abiding as to remain, wait, or to accept or act in accordance with. So I want to ask you today, are you striving or abiding? What are you striving for? Where are you not abiding in God? Why are you striving with your Maker? Have you been striving against God's will? Are you striving against what He knows is best for you, even when it means you may have to wait? Are you striving against remaining in a season longer than you anticipated? Are you striving against tarrying in prayer a little longer for that loved one? Are you striving against dwelling in an uncomfortable place while He prunes you? Yes, pruning. Are you striving against enduring a hardship that may be stretching your faith, but also is maturing you? Are you striving against being present in a relationship that is a bit strained and difficult right now, but it is teaching you what it means to love 1 Corinthians 13 style? Here are some tips to think about when you may be striving. You become easily frustrated when doing something and it isn't going your way. You try to make things happen in your own timing, although God has already told you to wait. You may be worn out, feel defeated, or just disappointed and discontented about a situation, or God Himself, even though you have been working to resolve or deal with the issues and seems like nothing is happening. What could you add to this list? When you are striving instead of abiding, chances are you don't believe or trust something about God or His character. Therefore, you fight against or try to do things your own way, even when you know it's forced and you seem to keep hitting a brick wall at every turn. I want to challenge you to ask Him to reveal to you what you are or are not believing about Him, or where you may be lacking trust in His goodness or commitment to see you through. When you are abiding, I guarantee that you will really see the fruit, right, of abiding in the true vine. The fruit of love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. The fruit of the Spirit. When you're abiding and not striving, we can simply ask the Lord for something instead of having to exert such great effort and expend unnecessary energy to get it. So if you've been striving instead of abiding, just pause right now for a minute. Step away from the situation. Take a deep breath in and out, and then ask the Lord whether you are striving or abiding. Ask Him to help you learn how to move from striving to abiding. And let me know what you discover. Y'all be blessed. Have an awesome week, and we'll talk again soon. Take care.